back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing something different. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build a resume as an apprentice. I know as an apprentice, it's a little bit hard to get a job, especially when you don't have experience. I was in the same situation too. I had to figure out everything on myself. But yeah, today, so what I did today was I spoke to a subscriber of mine and he gave me the permission to build his resume for him. So he sent me his resume, and I'm just going to rearrange his resume and make sure it looks more professional. Disclaimer: I'm not an HR person. I'm not an expertise in resume, but I have a little bit of idea of what companies look for on your resume. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to build a resume as an apprentice with no experience. So starting off with his resume, right? This is his resume he sent me, right? I'm just gonna move my face here, move it down a little bit. So yeah, you guys can see me, right? So this is his resume he sent me, right? Looking at his resume, not a bad one, not a bad one. But the first thing I noticed was his work experience. His work experience, apprentice, we starting out with no experience. We just gotta figure out everything out. He does not have any that many. He does not have any aviation experience. Aircraft maintenance experience. Like you guys can see, he has a cook. He's a cook. He works at Pizza Club, and he also did like an air show job, right? And which is not bad. You know what I'm saying? I started off in this industry with no experience. I had to figure out everything myself. But hey, there are some qualities, right? We that is transferable, and that is something that is where I can, like, I have that skills to be able to pick out some qualities because I'm in the industry too, right? And I built my experience. So I have that skills to pick out some qualities whereby you can transfer it into aircraft maintenance that can be beneficial. You know what I mean? And one of the qualities I can see right now is collaboration with team. That is a really good quality to have, you know what I'm saying? And it is transferable regardless of what field you are. You know what I'm saying? Demonstrates strong skills, strong attentions, which is a really good skill. Pay attention to details, really good skill. So basically, what I did was I told him to send me his resume, so that way I can go through his resume and see if I can recreate something for him, right? And that is what I'm going to show you guys in this video. The first thing I don't like about the resume, right? And I feel like you guys to avoid that. Like I told you guys, I'm not an HR person, but I still have an idea of how HR do stuff too, right? Um, First of all, his resume is too packed. It's too packed. It's too clumsy. It's too much. Like there's no spacing. Like HRs are having hundreds of applications every day, every month. You know what I mean? They don't have 2 hours, 1 hour to be reading all this. Like conduct a hot section inspection for engine perform precise demo. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? So that is the first thing I noticed that I don't like. It's too much information. I feel like some of his stuff can be rearranged properly. The next thing I notice is after his summary, it puts his education, right? Guys, as an apprentice, you want to be able to show your strength right away. As an apprentice, you want to be able to professional summary, strength right away. You know what I'm saying? And you want to be able to, like, you want to be able to show your advantage, your strength right away. You know what I mean? So that way, like, an HR person is scanning through, they don't, yes, you already, okay, good, you have your education, nice, relatable experience. Like, no HR is looking at this. And most HR don't even know what engines are these. You know what I'm saying? They don't have experience in engines. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh man, this is a lot. They're not going through all this. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. So I took his resume. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna reconstruct it. I'll put myself in a situation whereby like I'm an apprentice and see if I can come up with something really good. So this is what I came up with, right? Like I told you guys, I'm not an expertise in resume. Like I'm not an HR person, but I have an idea of what HR do people to look for, right? So look at what I created for him. Really clean, spacious, detailed. You know what I mean? Like I showed his strength right away. So if you look at this, right? Let me start off with the professional. I don't want to show too much of his information online. So yeah, starting off, professional summary, right? Aircraft maintenance engineering graduate with Transport Canada accreditation and a GPA of 4 points. Guys, I showed his strength right away. It's two strengths here, right? Companies don't every company care about your GPA, but his first strength, accreditation. I showed it right away. A, I'm an aircraft graduate with accreditation. Boom. Right? The next one I showed is GPA. It's not really, I mean, it could be a plus, right? But for the most part, companies don't really care that much about your GPA that much. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the first thing I did. The next thing I did was I showed his experience, his school experience that I feel like can be really, really can be of advantage to him, right? Strong educational experience in turbine and turboprop engine. Boom. That's his school experience. You know what I mean? I showed that okay, yes, I don't have that many hands-on experience, but hey, I do have some strong educational experience. You know what I'm saying? I have some little bit of knowledge in turbine engine and turboprop. You know what I mean? The reason why I really emphasize on turboprop and turbine engine is because the guy's trying to get his M2 license, right? I feel like turboprop is more turbine engine is M2 and turboprop is M2 license, right? Right. Thirdly, I focus on the quality you can bring to the company, right? What can you contribute in the company, right? Bring hands-on technical skills, a strong work ethic, and eagerness to contribute to high performing maintenance team. Boom, clean, simple. I emphasize that okay, I don't have that many experience, but in school I built some hands-on technical skills. You know, I'm open to learn and I'm also open to contribute. That's what companies are looking for. They're looking for someone that, yes, they understand you don't have that many experience, but they're still looking for someone that can have some quality because we are as a person, regardless of what area of life you're working at, we all can contribute in one type of way. You know what I mean? Like, hey, do you have good communication skills? Are you that type of person that can work with? You know what I mean? So those are the stuff you want to highlight, right? And that is what I did there. So I also put his strength. He said he's a quick learner. And I put quick learner, strong attention to details, and passion of aviation for aviation. Boom. Clean, simple, professional summary. Not too crazy, like compared to like where is it? Compared to what he wrote previously, we look at what he wrote previously, which was not bad. Like his professional summary was pretty good actually, but there's some stuff I feel like that was missing. Recent AMA graduate with Transport Canada accreditation, comprehensive background in aircraft and avionics system, excellent team player that prioritize safety, attention to details, and good quality of work. That's actually perfect. But hey, you also want to tell them like I also want to learn. I'm an apprentice with no experience, but I want to learn. I'm ready to learn. I'm that person that I love aviation. I love aircraft. You know what I'm saying? You want to show them like, hey, I'm not an experienced person right now, but I have that eagerness to learn. You know what I mean? So the next thing I moved to was the qualifications, right? Apprentice, you don't have that many qualifications, you know what I mean, which I totally understand. But for me, it's like I wanted these strong qualifications to show right away, like right away, professional summary. I wanted the strength to show right away. You know what I mean? And that is why I didn't put his education like right here. In the summary, I already showed that he had some educational background. I already described that he had his accreditation. So the HR person that is reading it, they already know he has some education. You know what I mean? Regardless of what school you go to, right? They already know he has an education. So there's no point of me showing the education after, right? I wanted to show them his strength right away, right? So I went straight up to the qualification. So if you look at his previous resume, right, he kind of highlighted the qualification, but it was too clumsy. Like I told you guys, too clumsy, right? Where is it? Actually, he did not even put his qualifications. He didn't even, okay. So yeah, so he put right here. He said, "Look at this. See what I'm saying, guys? Look at this, right? It shows and he actually put it in education. I'm being careful here because I don't want to show his information. But yeah, he said education, fancy college, really great school. He showed his GPA, and this is qualifications. This is qualification, guys. This is not education. This is a qualification, right? For you to work in a airline company that works in the airport, you need a radio license, right? This is a qualification that will give you a plus, right? But it did not highlight it. It didn't show it properly. Like you gotta read these to really see the qualifications. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I did, right? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna bring his qualifications, show it right away, show his strength right away. So the first thing I did is show that he had his diploma with a 4 point GPA, pretty good. I showed that he had his accreditation right away. Boom. I showed that he has his driver license. Guys, having your driver license is a huge plus. You know what I mean? Especially for if you want to work in the airline, right? A lot of companies that are airline companies, they require you, it's a mandatory thing. You need your driver license. So I wanted to highlight that as soon as possible. And also I also showed that he had his radio license, right? Boom. Clean, simple, not too many, like an HR person reading this can see like right away. Okay, short form, that's his strength. Easy. You know what I mean? So the next thing I went to was the skills, right? And this is where it's a little bit tricky, right? And I'm gonna show you guys what I do sometimes too, right? Just 1 second. So I'm gonna show you guys a strategy I do sometimes whenever I want to what is it called? For the skills, right? So if you look at his resume, right, he has a lot of stuff going on. A lot. It says relatable experience. These are skills. These are skills here. This is skills, but it's too much. It's too many. It's too packed. You know what I'm saying? These are like, yes, you have all these experience, but you don't want to oversell yourself too, because now imagine if they see this like, oh shit, okay. They call you for an interview, they start asking you questions regarding this engine. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to oversell yourself, but you also want to still highlight yourself as a person that has some type of experience. It could be educational experience or anything, right? So yeah, he has a lot of good qualities, and I feel like yes, it's a pretty good one. And even look at it, like why would you put your do not do this, guys? Look at this. You want to be able to like this is all this does not matter. All this does not matter. They don't care about this, right? And I'll show you guys a proof, right? Let's say, let me open a new tab. Let me show you guys. So, aircraft. Let me see if I can find aircraft, mechanic, apprentice, job, right? Guys, my screen tab is my what is it called? My tab is really bad. That's why it's tab. But anyways, so these are the jobs we're seeing right now, right? On the internet, right? Let's click these for example. Just 1 second. My Wi-Fi is pretty slow. So here we go. Click this. Okay, what's going on? Why is it so slow? I think the problem is, yeah, okay, so here we go. So if you look at this, right? Let's say, okay, they're not showing skills. Let me see if there's a company that shows skills, skills. There was one I saw right now. Let me see. I saw a really good example. The company was called Skylink. There was a really good example I saw. There was a pretty good example I saw right now. Let me see. Where is it? Blah. Just give me 1 second, guys. Or maybe they took it out. Maybe they took it out. But anyways, let's take a job application for example, right? Let's take one of them, and it does not have to be. Let's say, for example, what is it called? Okay, this called the company is called Sky Service, right? They're looking for apprentices, right? Look at this. So it right here, qualifications and skills required. Working towards your M2 license, previous apprentice is an asset, ability to work under pressure, must be attentive to details, positive attitude, team oriented, good communication skills. So this is the skills these companies are looking for. What I usually do for the skills, okay, I already seen his resume, right? I'm like, okay, technical aptitude, safety oriented, customer service. To me, customer, I don't know why you put customer service there because it's not really. But anyways, troubleshooting, communication skills, teamwork, nice. It aligns with what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So usually what I usually do most time is I just copy and paste. I copy the skills they're looking for here, right? Copy it, put it on my resume, put like a like a draft, right? Put it on the resume and just put it on. Sometimes I use Chat GPT too. Put it on Chat GPT. Hey, this is my personal qualifications. Can you write my skills and qualifications in accordance with this job requirement of what they're looking for? And that is what I did with Chat GPT, right? So what I did was I highlighted his strengths right away, right? Strong fundamental knowledge of aircraft system. I showed them like, hey, yes, I'm not a expertise, but hey, I still have some fundamental knowledge of aircraft maintenance procedure and the system. Completed hands-on training on turbine engines. So the reason why I really focus on turbine engine it was because the guy's trying to get his M2 license. So I wanted to show them like, hey, I do have some experience in turbine engines. You know what I mean? Able to read and interpret aircraft maintenance menu. You don't have all the experience, but this is a really huge asset. You know what I'm saying? Like you're able to read your aircraft maintenance menu. Is like you're costing them less time for them to train you over again. You know what I'm saying? So those are the skills you want to be able to show the company. You know what I mean? Like as an apprentice, I know how it is. We don't have them in experience, but there are some qualities about ourselves that you want to be able to show. And you want to be able to show them your strength right away. You know, your qualifications, your skills. The next one I talked about was your team oriented. Like guys, as an apprentice, as an AME in general, you're gonna be working in teams, right? Your communication skills gotta be good. Your collaboration skills gotta be good. You know what I mean? And that is one of the transferable skills you have that can be transferred from any department, regardless of the career path. You can transfer it to any type of career. You know what I'm saying? And that is why I put it there. I put it right there. I highlighted that he's a good oriented person. He's got a good communication skills and he's got good collaboration skills. You know, the next one I talked about was strong adaptability and organization skills. So basically, most companies want someone to be able to adapt to the processes as fast as possible. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to because you got to start making their money. And the way you're making their money is by doing your job no, chop chop. You know what I'm saying? So I highlighted that I knew like most companies are looking for those are the stuff they're looking for. You know, like I have done like almost 2, 3 interviews. You know what I mean? So I already know what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? So that is why I highlighted that he has strong adaptability to adapt to like new tasks, new challenges, and the next one I highlighted was, work under pressure and stress. His past experience, he told me he worked as a pizza person, which makes a lot of sense. You know, as a customer service, you gotta be able to work under stress, right? You know what I'm saying? And the last one, which is really, 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 it might not sound important, but it's really important. You know what I'm saying? Adaptation, adaptable and flexible in response to change of operational demand. Guys, you might start in this company working day shift. And the next 3 months, 3 weeks, they might need you for night shift. You know what I'm saying? They want someone that is really able to adapt to their demand. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the qualities and skills you want to be able to have as a person, as an apprentice. So you can see like even with that money, he does not have any aviation experience, but I've been able to highlight from his past experience, you know, working for the pizza company and also working for the aircraft air show, right? I've been able to highlight some of the. I think this is pretty good skills to have as an apprentice. Like I'm in the industry, I know some skills that we do need to have, and I feel like I've highlighted it in a really strong way. You know what I mean? So the next one I moved towards is, of course, is education. You know, we want to be able to show that you have some type of education in school. So I showed I went to Fancy College in London. He got the advanced diploma in aircraft maintenance. So the advanced one is like 3 years, and you get the aircraft maintenance and avionics. Um, oh, something I also did here was, if you guys go back to his resume, you can see that on this section, it talked about related experience. But I know he didn't work in this company, because if you look at his work experience, it does not show any type of experience that any company that he worked for, that he did all this job, right? So I knew this was in school, right? But hey, you can actually show them like, okay, I don't have any type of work experience, but hey, I'm able to. I've done some tasks that required me to work with my hands. I've done some really good tasks. Like if you look at this, right? AV map engine box installation, that's a pretty good one. Inspection is a pretty good one. Installation of instrument panels, pretty good one. You know what I'm saying? Like this is something you're gonna be doing in real life. So I wanted to still highlight those. I didn't want to take it away from his resume, because this is a pretty good thing to have in your resume too. So what I did was I went to his education. I highlighted he went to this school, but I also showed what he did in school that I feel like can be of advantage in his job application, right? So basically, what I did was basic principle and training of turbine engines, turboprop and piston engine. I showed that he had basic principle and knowledge about those engine. Then if you looked at his last resume, he said what perform inspection. What did he say? In his last inspection, he said PT6A engine hard section inspection, right? So what I did was perform PT6A engine hard section inspection in school. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he does not have any work experience, but hey, in school he did that. You know what I'm saying? So he has a knowledge about how this stuff works. 1 second, guys. So he has a good knowledge about how this stuff works. You know what I mean? The next thing I did was, he said in the last resume, he installed the instrument panel. I make sure I put it there. Installed instrument panel, wire harness fabrication, engage in engine overall, perform AV map engine box installation. So those are the stuff like I did not still hide, because these are really good quality, guys. Like you still show that you learned something practical in school. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of if you're still an apprentice, but you still have some type of hands-on experience. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to hide that. I made sure I highlighted it in his resume. And the last one I did was on his work experience. Yes, as an apprentice, like I said, we don't have any experience. He got lucky, he even got some work experience. Well, I didn't have no even pizza experience when what I'm saying, when I applied for my job, my first job. But yeah, his pizza job, I still wanted to make sure whatever experience he has there is still relatable to aircraft maintenance. you know, see delivered high quality products on a tight deadline in fast paced environment. You know what I mean? That's one of the qualities you need to have in aircraft maintenance, especially for you guys that are gonna be working in airline companies. They want you to be able to work in a fast pace but still able to deliver high quality stuff, right? High quality and safety, right? Practice teamwork, attention to details, time management daily. Good quality to have. They want someone that is able to have good time management, obviously attention to details, you know what I'm saying? And practice teamwork, working team, collaboration, communication, you know what I'm saying? Those are good qualities you want to have. Last one I said is maintain open communication with kitchen staff to ensure smooth operation and consistent product quality. That's something you want to highlight to your good communication skills. Like, hey, even though I'm a pizza person, but I still have some qualities whereby I can still transfer and help you guys, and I can still create some value to you guys, right? You know what I mean? The same thing I did here, the volunteer issue stuff, you know, provide guidance to support smooth event operation. Arrived on time. Attendance is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Especially as an apprentice with no experience, attendance is a really big thing. So I make sure I put it there. Arrive on time, perform duties under supervision. That shows that he's able to listen, learn, and ready to learn. You know what I mean? That's why I put that there personally. I put that there, perform duties under supervision. Collaboration, it's a huge one too. Collaborate closely with team. You know what I mean? So those are the stuff I did on his resume, and you can look at his resume, right? The arrangement is more clean. It's more appealing. Like I would want to read this. It's simple compared to look at this, right? Look at how tight and not that. It's not like, man, like no one is trying to, like you want to make it sure it's packaged properly. You know what I mean? Like just like imagine if you're trying to sell a product, right? You want to make sure it's packaged properly, even though like you know that okay, I don't have damaged stuff in the like you can literally sell if you package this flash drive properly. Like I think I got this flash drive for like $5 or something. But if you package this flash drive properly, you can sell it for $10. You know what I mean? So have that same mentality whereby yes, you don't have that many experience, but you can still package everything and make it look cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. To me, it was just too clumsy and too tight that I would not want to read this. But what I did was I took whatever information you gave me here and I make sure I built something really good. I feel like this will help him out a lot. I'm gonna start working on a video whereby I'm gonna document his journey. Right, I'm gonna document his journey whereby I'm gonna see if I can get him a job as fast as possible. With his resume, I'm still trying to build up my skills with resume building because I want to start helping people in the future. And if you feel like it's something you're gonna need help with, please reach out to me. This is something I want to start because I'm working on a mentorship program whereby I'm going to create like a mentorship program. I'm going to have a lot of mostly focused on apprentices. We're about to start in the industry who are currently in the industry, whereby I can guide them through, help them with their resume, see how I can help them get that first job, make life easier for them. You know what I mean? That's something I'm gonna work on. But right now I'm just experimenting with this and see how this goes, right? But yeah, this is how you build your resume as an apprentice with no experience. If I was an apprentice with no experience, this is how I would definitely build it. And I'll build this with the experience, you know what I mean? Like I'm not a HR person, but I know what companies are looking for. You know what I mean? Like I've worked in different companies, I've done a lot of interview. I know what they're looking for. But yeah, so this is pretty much it. If you guys want to again take a screenshot of these and build it in your own, in your own way. But yeah, I appreciate if you guys. If you guys are new to my channel, my name is Peter. I am a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer, and if you're looking for information regarding aircraft maintenance engineering, I do have hundreds of videos on my channel whereby I educate you guys regarding aircraft maintenance engineering. And if you find this video informative, please do not forget to subscribe. And if you need information regarding aircraft maintenance engineering, I do offer a free consultation. All you got to do is text me on Instagram. My Instagram is going to be in the description. All you got to do is text me. We can schedule a call on how I can help you out. All right. For you guys that are new to my channel, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Love you guys. All right.